Fox 5 Health News tonight. Doctors at the Cleveland Clinic have performed the first successful uterus transplant in the U.S. The patient is a 26-year-old woman.
All right, joining us now, Fox 5 medical contributor Dr. Devi. All right, there's a lot to talk about here. This is not anything to sort of head into willy-nilly, first off. There's massive potential for complications, right?
Sure, I agree. I mean, with any transplant, there's a risk. So the first thing is the surgery itself, right? And the second thing is once the uterus or the organ is in your body, it's carrying immune cells from the person that it came from, right? So those immune cells are going to look at your cells and think that you're a bacteria or a virus or something else threatening, and they're going to attack you. So you have to protect yourself from that by taking immunosuppressive drugs that'll calm down your immune system. So you're always kind of on this seesaw between getting infected because your immune system is also calmed down, or getting attacked by the organ.
And you have to definitely have the transplanted uterus taken out at some point, right?
Usually you do. So for life-saving transplants, right, you're going to have them put in, you're going to accept these risks because your life is at stake.
Right.
And it's going to stay with you as long as it survives or as long as you survive. But with this uterus, I mean, the only purpose is really to allow you to carry a child to term, right? So to go from being an embryo to birth. So after that, you don't really need that uterus anymore. I mean, maybe for future children, but otherwise you don't really need it. So then they would do another surgery to remove it at that point. So for women who really want to experience pregnancy, this is probably a miraculous development, you know, an exciting development. But there's a lot of debate about it because it's not life-saving and there are so many risks.
Right. This was the first successful transplant here in the U.S., but it has been successful in a couple cases overseas.
It has. And then there was also controversy there, too, not just because of the uterine transplant, but they've done transplants for other reproductive organs and for things like the hands and the face. So the difference between those transplants and others are that, you know, there are more psychological risks, right? These are very personal organs as opposed to just life-saving organs. So the people who received them actually had some trouble with that. They felt like they were reminded of the dead person more than other organ recipients.
No, it's very involved. There's a lot going on there. I mean, so it's interesting. We continue to make these amazing medical breakthroughs, but whether that becomes mainstream or widespread, we'll see. All right.
Exactly.
And can daily weightlifting be dangerous? Weight training, you know, I always did like a couple days on, then a couple days off. That's the way you're supposed to do it, right?
Yeah, you're doing it right.
Knew it. I knew it.
Steve,
how much you bench?
Right.
I haven't been doing it lately, as you can tell.
How many days off? No,
yeah, about 3 months at this point.
So what is the goal? I mean, you know, how long should you rest between weight training?
Sure. So it depends what your goal is, if it's to gain strength or if it's for weight loss.
I just
and
want
other
to look
things,
good
right?
in T-shirts.
So if you're trying to do a combo, let's say weight loss plus gaining muscle, right? Then it is good to work out every day. That's not bad, but you want to rotate the muscle groups.
Right.
So you want to give certain muscle groups a couple days rest. Now the way that you gain strength is by fatiguing the muscles. So it's sort of like a metaphor for life, right? Like when you grow, it's sort of like you overcome a challenge. You've got to be tested or pushed a little bit, and it's when you overcome that challenge that you actually become stronger. So it's the same with muscle. That if you're doing the same thing every day, it's not really making you any stronger. But when you go a little bit out of your reach, right? That's when the muscle gets injured and it gets damaged, but as it repairs that, it grows and becomes stronger. Exactly.
Right.
So if you do something that's overwhelming, right, or if you do something that you can do but you do it way too much, these are those repetitive tasks like typing at the computer or sitting kind of in a hunched posture and you're using those back muscles. If you do that constantly, the muscle still gets fatigued and sometimes it's too much for it. So even those activities you have to watch out for.
If you do it every
arms
day,
one day, legs the next.
I hate doing
no
legs.
more benching 500
pounds. I just want to bench.
Steve.
That's all I want to do. That's all I care
Thanks
about.
so much, Dr. Devi.
All right. Good deal.
Somebody who knows all about this, by the way.
Yeah.
Nick Gregory.
Oh, yeah. Diesel.
Well,
That's Nicky.
Well, no, but that's exactly, those are very good points, because that's exactly true. And when you do your workouts, it's those last 2 or 3 reps when you're pushing the muscle.
That's where you get all the gains, right?
Exactly.
Oh, you're an expert.
As long as you keep the form. You got to keep the form, though. If you're going to break form, then don't do that rep. And the way I train is that, again, I try to give at least 2 days rest a week. So you know, you shouldn't work out you know, really more than 6 days in a row. Got to rest on the 7th day. You have to do that. So that's my advice. And rotate the muscle groups. Exactly correct. So especially the larger muscle
trainer
groups.
Too here.
Yeah,
He knows everything.
you have to let those larger muscle groups rest, because otherwise you won't get the gains. So there you go. All right, on to the weather now.